Welcome everybody. It's Supermassive, your boy. Just giving you a bit of a light, smooth, whiskey flavored rundown of what happened. No, I'm kidding. Martha's playing music and it's got me in a mood. And there's a bottle of Monkey Shoulder on Max's desk, so you know we're just we're doing what we're doing. We're just gonna allow a bit more time for people to come in.
Martha, can you mute yourself?
Martha, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Nice little echo going on there. Seeing some familiar places in here, like Markla. Big up to you, my friend. Big up to you. Never shy of things to say. Give it a couple more minutes while everyone comes in. Thank you, sir, for the purple heart. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And of course, Tybo, who's repping his King Crown fluff there. But you might know him as Johnny Fraz Jr. Oh yeah. And if you're wondering if I'm still alive, well, just about. Saturday night seems like a bit of a fever dream. So I honestly don't know what happened, for realsies. Who else have we got on the stream? Gelazo and Ifka, the amazing Ifka, who wrote that incredible speech on Saturday night. Can't tell you, man, that was heartwarming stuff. It definitely got me in the right space to push through some of the pain. We have Simskin in the house as well. I see you. And Pugs. Am I right in thinking, Pugs, that you managed to get yourself a set of 6? Give me a purple heart if that's the case. And we have Mahathir, who I believe was a winner, big winner, on Saturday night as well. Oh no, Pug says no. I'm sorry to hear that, sir. I'm sorry to hear that. We have his dudeness, fan from back in the day, Jacob from Top Dogs, and the Mr. Simon One. Simon One, who was on the spaces with me on Saturday night as well, my old mucker, Supermassive. So the point of today is to basically just pick up from where we were from the weekend and give people a little update. Didn't want to make a long one. I'm sure people have some questions as well and concerns about things. I understand. I think that's the main thing. When you're quote unquote invested in something, especially in an early stage, you want to make sure that you're not going to get rugged, that it's going to be a real deal, that people are working hard, and that we understand that you want to represent us, but you also want to be able to represent it in a way that you're not going to get ridiculed for. You need it to feel special and worthwhile and something that it's actually like, you know, this is legit, which I get. I understand that. So first things first, we probably should address the winners of the competitions during the stream. So last night there were 5 confirmed winners of the different activations that we ran, and I distributed the prizes for that, which felt good. So whoever you were, if you want those prizes, enjoy them, treasure them. Don't spend them all on sweets. If that's what you're intending to do, it's bad for your teeth. The winners from the live stream activation, yep, you've been compensated. And then there are 6 base heads, a set of 6 for the most active in the referral link process through Crew 3. And that is still being reviewed. And the reason that's still being reviewed is because, as was expected, there were some bots in the house, and that's sort of muddied the waters a little bit. So bear with us as we try and figure out what is a real entry and what is not a real entry. But I'm assured that tomorrow we will make all the winners public. So if you can just stay with us like another 24 hours or so, we'll get it done. And the winner of the set of 6 will be announced. And if you kind of don't remember what the set of 6 is about, it's basically a mint pass for the physical drops when we do them. And we're starting to build out the shape of how that's going to work at the moment. Trust me when I tell you that if you think from the outside that running an NFT project is a piece of cake, it's not, believe it or not. It's very, very difficult, and it's very hard to keep everyone happy in a community where everyone has an opinion and you're not shy about making your voices heard. So I think the most important thing is if you do make your voices heard, then they are heard. We see what you write, we see what you say, we feel it, because we're not robots. And at the end of the day, we want to make this a project that everyone can be proud of and actually a community sticks around for. And the competition is tough out there, you know, monkey buttholes. If I could spend all day just playing Dookie Dash, then I probably would, because it'd be a lot easier than this sometimes. So bless them, Bored Apes, you gotta love them. They did so much for this space, but we have to carve out our own space in all of this, and we'll continue to do so. And I know some of the decisions that we've taken may seem different, but that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point of why we did this the way we did it. We aren't supposed to be the same as everybody else, but we also have to prove that that route has legs. So yeah, 50 of one, half a dozen of the other, all that kind of stuff. So where are we at? So I guess probably one of the questions we should address is what happened to the money we raised during the stream. Well, I have cashed it out to USDC now, so we've made it safe, and we're just waiting for the match funding from Phantom to come in, and then I'm sure you're going to want to see that it actually went to the place it was supposed to go to. We could just send it to them, but what we're actually going to do is we're going to travel to London as part of the film and hand them a giant check and do it the right way, the cheesy way, because that's how you do these things. So that's what we're going to do with that. The Valentine's Day activation is kind of sort of heating up now and is becoming a thing. We're just finalizing the entries for that. Tom has been doing the interviews on that. We're cooking up the storyline, how it's going to work, what it's going to be, and it should be quite a lot of fun as well. I know some people were kind of skeptical about it, but trust me, like, dating shows are massive. Dating shows in the metaverse will be huge. Young people getting into awkward situations and falling in and out of love will be a real thing on the metaverse. And so it's definitely an area we want to explore. And also the other thing is, like, we're trying so much new stuff constantly. I think, you know, we sat down for an hour before this space and just went through everything that went right and everything that went wrong on Saturday night with the marathon live stream. And there's a ton of stuff we can do better, but there's also a ton of stuff that we did get right. But the point is we're trying new stuff all the time, and it's stuff that, like, will break. Like the VR chat worlds we tested, they worked fine. We went live, they didn't. I mean, that's just going live. That's a live fire exercise. So a lot of the stuff we're going to be doing will be experiments and trying to see if a format works or if a type of content works. Some of it will, some of it won't. I would much rather be doing that in short form and vertical, where, you know, it's literally just so disposable. Nobody remembers if it's a hit or a miss. So we're going to be doing a lot of that in the coming months as well. But yes, that's all coming out. So Valentine's Day, dating shows, I think it's a thing. So I've been following the chat, and there's been discussions about artwork, people being divided about whether they like the artwork or not, and people being confused about what this project represents. I get that. There's basically one thing that we need to do that we haven't done yet that will make it a lot easier to present the face of base that we need it to be, and that is we need to deliver the edit for the marathon film. Once people see that, they'll go, oh right, I get it, I get what you're doing, because the live stream, MEAT, all these other things, they feed into that film, and it's the film that sets the bar for everything else that we want to do, the type of content we want to do, the big challenges, and then it will feel like it's a YouTube channel. So that's what we need to deliver first. That's also a great sales tool, because then we can go and approach partners that we want to work with and say, listen, we did this, we pulled it off, let's talk about what we can do next. Funnily enough, we're already getting into those kind of conversations with people. It's early days. I'm not going to promise that we have massive partnerships lined up when we don't, but we have massive conversations lined up to talk specifically about how we can create content that cuts through and that people actually want to watch. But unless we have got, you know, the main event out there, it's difficult to have those conversations and for people to really understand the quality of what we're doing. It's just so busy. Next thing on the agenda is probably going to be NFT Paris. So we're looking at whether we can do an activation there. One of the things we have thought about is whether we can take the entire marathon set as it was on Saturday and kind of transport it over there and do something. We'll keep you posted on that. But we'll definitely have a presence, tons of meetings to be had there, and be the first kind of coming out party. We're also starting to think about NFT NYC. And I'm booked for NFT Tallinn, so I'll be going to Estonia to represent the baseheads over there, which is going to be kind of fun too. What else have we got coming up? Oh yeah, so like I was saying, listening to the conversations, the PFP debate. So let's talk about that right now. Why did we go full body? If you watched me run in the metaverse on Saturday, I was a full body character with legs, with arms, with a head, in proportion, that actually worked in VR chat. Like, so many PFPs, they just don't work when you give them legs and bodies. So we're working backwards, basically. We started with the thing that we knew we would need first, which is a full body. And if you think of those assets like movie posters for characters in a movie, that's probably a better way to look at it. I don't think that diminishes them in any way, shape, or form. However, it does raise the question, are we in need of a more traditional style PFP instance of the asset? Well, our awesome community member Tybo did some basically fan art with a friend of his, got someone to draw up his characters, his assets in a scene that he'd come up with. That looked awesome. Like, I'm confident that these characters, the art, the attitude they put out has quote unquote legs. Very happy with the way that is, but I also know that there's possibly a need for us to do a PFP version of these things. And the lazy thing to do is just do a crop. I think you guys deserve better than that. So we're already in discussions about how we might do that, what artist we would use to do that, because we wouldn't necessarily use the same artist again. And then what kind of attitude they would spit, so you could represent these things properly, probably profile, quarter profile, something like that. But listen, we hear you. We absolutely hear you. And we're thinking about this stuff all the time. So, GWizzed, going to invite you on stage to talk. Give me a sec. There you go. You have a question for me, or something to say, perhaps. See if we can get you connected. Can't tell you, running a marathon in VR, it's punishing. That's for sure. Well, it looks like we're having problems connecting to GWizzed. Hopefully you can come on in a second. Does anyone else want to jump on stage, have anything to ask? Hopefully I've covered things for now in terms of kind of where we're at and what's going on. We have basically quite a lot of films that we're in pre-production on. We've got another big film we're preparing for probably April. That's going to take a lot of time to put together. And then there's some other things that we're putting together in the meantime. So there's going to be a little mini game that we're going to do, which will be its own film. And you'll be able to win some prizes for that, because I think that'd be really fun. Derived from basically what we were doing with the marathon. So that should be good. Simon One is connecting. Go on, Swanee.
Hi, my name's Simon One. I like your things. What does Fraz taste like?
Well, it depends what flavor of Fraz you get. There's the cola flavored beer Fraz, and then there's Fraz Primal, which is just a jolt of adrenaline straight into the central cortex. So you have to be careful with how much of that you consume. Oh yeah, that's actually probably a good point. Like, people are wondering about the physical drops. Like, when are the physical drops coming? Put it this way, like, knocking out a bunch of digital assets, piece of piss. We can do it in our sleep. Doing physical drops is a whole different ball game, and it demands a little bit more care and attention to detail, because they can't be shit. If they're shit, then we're dead, basically. These things need to have a character and a personality and a craft to them. So we're looking at some different options for that first one. Might be Fraz, might not be Fraz, might be DGAF, might not be DGAF, might be Head Crank. But trust me when I say that when we do it, we'll put out all the usual fake ads and all the other stuff and mythologize it through the videos. And I can't wait to get this frigging fragging marathon film edited and out into the world, because it really is like a statement piece for everything we're doing, and it will be so much easier for people to understand what it is we're about. And then I can breathe a sigh of relief, because I've been sitting on this thing for like 6 months, and now I've got postpartum from like giving birth to this baby, and I've finally done it, and now I actually have to kind of move on to the next stuff. So so that's all happening. Anyone else have something they would like to say, like to raise? Hopefully we've addressed some of your kind of major concerns. Oh, one more thing. I know you guys would like to see me appear on more NFT spaces or NFT kind of places. So I'm trying to work on that at the moment, because like Rug Radio and Nifty Portal were definitely ones that were brought up. But like, if anyone has any connections there and they can hook me up, that'd be great. I'm sure I can reach out, but I'm doing as many as I possibly can. The problem is they just like, they eat up the day doing them, and I got so much editing to do, you wouldn't believe it. Igfar, let's get you on stage. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick, morning guys. I had a question, if you could quickly touch on the Fabricant with their recent allow list. How involved they're gonna be? Is it just friends? Could it be our avatars, when they're 3D, ever have wearables with them? If you could shed anything on that.
Yeah, I did a space with Fabricant last week. My relationship with Fabricant goes back quite a long way. They are based in Amsterdam, so they're very close to us. Really kind of early into the NFT fashion space. I think they were one of the, if not the first, to do a proper fashion drop. And we've been talking for so long. It's such an easy collaboration to talk about, but a very hard collaboration to pull off. But like, I don't want to promise something that we can't fulfill. But like, the conversation has already started, and like the desire is there to do something. It's the same with cyber brokers, right? Like we know we want to collab with cyber brokers. We want to do something awesome, and it may well be that that's actually an activation for NFT NYC. It might be a drop. There's so many different ways we can skin that cat. What I don't want to do is rush into something with a set of partners that I want to have a longer term relationship with and then screw it all up. I don't think that would happen anyway, but you have to be super careful about what you say in terms of future things. But what I will say is that there are conversations which are warmer and more productive than others, and I would say cyber brokers and Fabricant are definitely amongst those.
Awesome, thanks, sir.
Sordio, let's get you up. You're on stage if you want to speak.
Oh yeah, this is Solio. Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good morning from Los Angeles. Great work you've been doing. Hey, you're gonna be in? I'm sorry, I just jumped in late here. I apologize if I miss anything and go over anything that's been said. But are you gonna be in France, in Paris?
That's the plan. We're working on an idea how we're going to do it. Like oh man, I could tell you the number of things that we want to do that we're having to say no to because like we're just too busy. Like film production, making films, making videos, all the planning that has to go into them, that they eat up so much time. And there were things that we wanted to do in NFT Paris. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do them, but we will definitely be there because it's so close. It's like a 3 4 hour drive for us. So I think MEAT might well be performing, which would be fun, and doing a road trip and some vlogs along the way. The thing is that MEAT, the whole backstory behind who MEAT is hilarious, because it's not me, but it is, but it isn't, but it is, but it isn't, and who they actually are is kind of fun. So we want to explore that more and tease that out, and we'll probably write another track for Paris as well. So I think that's probably where we're going to be. But yes, we will be there. There's too many meetings for us to be having for us not to be there.
Super sick. Because I know Josie and the brokers are going to be there, which is absolutely awesome. And Meet, oh my god, fucking dope. Hey, do you know that show called The Trip with the fellas Coogan from England and what's the other comedian? Anyway, you probably do.
Yeah, it's Steve Coogan and Rob. What's his name? Yeah, the Welsh dude. Yeah, it's brilliant. Well, they're the super talented comedians.
Bryden.
Rob Brydon, there you go. Thank you, Swanee. Rob Brydon.
I think, yeah, when they do the Michael Caine. Sorry, mate. But anyway, let me just say this. Artifact, and I know that you're in different. I understand the stuff about collabs, and I've talked to different people about different stuff, but collabs, and you keep a lid on it, and you move slowly and effectively, and try to do long-term plays that are super important and beneficial to everybody, not just grabs. But I'm big into clones, cyber brokers, and now with you guys, and want to get bigger. But clones are doing the pod burn, which is basically their land thing, like the other side, and I'm trying to get a big chunk of that pie. Do you think down the road you want to jump into that metaverse as well? Yeah.
Yeah. So I interviewed the Artifact gang for the Defiant ages ago, before clones even appeared, and it was very obvious that they were a team that were like going places. I had the opportunity to interview Chris Lee as well, and like I spent an hour and a half jamming with him about stuff and like our kind of creative backstories and this kind of thing, and like they're kindred spirits. They really are, and I'm desperate to do something with them, because I feel like, firstly, I understand how to make their products look good. If you've seen the Artifact shoe video we did an unboxing with it. Like, we know how to make that stuff look good. We've also been like very careful to kind of show from the motion capture side of things that we're doing and the Unreal Engine side of things that we're not locked into it only ever being our IP. There's room for all IP. So I have some clones, and we're going to be using them to tell stories. We have party bears, you have fluffs. Those are ecosystems we're excited about. So I think that's a really pertinent point, which is the very best version of Based is a community that's in fact a meta community. It's a community of communities, because that's basically, the best way for us to be successful is to be able to bring in IP from other communities and to connect with other communities through the stories that we tell using that IP and elevate everyone together. That is really how we win. And that's always been in there. Like the original pitch deck I had, it has one of my clones on a pot of noodles alongside a base head, because that's how we think of things. We want to, make connections to these communities. And I think every single project comes across the same issue, which is like, you want people from within your community to create and to be empowered to create in this kind of UGC world. But it's really hard right now. It's really hard to take 3D assets and rig them properly and get them into a game engine and pilot them and do it regularly and often. That's really hard to do. And so I think that's what Based is going to be really useful at, is being that kind of power creator that can work with communities to do something dope but fast, and then continue doing things like that and doing interesting partnerships where we tell a story and we use the best bits of our studio and the best bits of your IP. So Artifact is definitely like, I try and nudge Benoit like from time to time, going, this dude, you guys should sponsor us. Like, we're going to be on camera repping for the metaverse and doing stuff in the metaverse. Like, when do we get stuff? So I've got a bunch of crypto kicks. I've got like the original space strip sneakers. Like, I'm a total fan of that ecosystem and of the team specifically. Love it. But it's not the only one. Cyber Brokers, again, is another one. I can't wait for the next, so we can start doing stuff with that and playing around with it, because we can. Like, now the marathon is out of the door, we can reconvert the studio back into what it was supposed to be, which is a motion capture studio, and start really experimenting with all of that. Like, physical production is going to get really hard, but like virtual production is going to be dope now.
I have a question.
Go on, Swanee.
So, with your mocap studio and the Basehead's NFTs avatar, Karma is a Bitch specifically, do you think there's a possibility that Karma is a Bitch would have an explicit OnlyFans page down the line?
Yeah, man. Karma's feet are legit the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And you know this because you've seen them yourself. She doesn't show them to everybody, but like, once those massive shoes with the spikes come off, like, it's literally just robo chubby time, game on. Like, How could she not have an OnlyFans page? For sure, man. Like, we know that porn drives everything on the internet, so why not? If you want to build it, I'm sure they will come. Oh shit!
I knew you'd say that.
Anyone else like to follow up on that? I feel like it's the infamous when I said butt plug on the Fluffs podcast time again. But I have a hard out at 5:30, otherwise my kids will kill me because I've barely seen them the last week and a half. And so if you don't want my kids to kill me and you want me to carry on working for this, then get your questions up on stage now. We didn't hear from the single of crypto. If you have something to say it now.
Hi guys, I'm from Turkey. Good night. My question is, will there be airdrops for NFT holders?
Will there be airdrops for NFT holders?
Yep.
That's the question any project founder loves to hear. What do you think?
I think I will hodl my best NFTs.
I think it's yes. I cannot confirm nor deny. That's what I'm going to say. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I can't believe we got Kerry Murphy in the space from Fabricant, and he's repping a bass head. And we were talking about Fabricant. I was delicately dancing around the idea of collabs with Fabricant. Kerry, if you want to come on stage, we can talk for a couple of minutes. See if we can hash this out publicly. He's probably not listening at all. He's probably just there representing. Okay. Any other questions before I go? Well, listen, thanks to everyone who actually turned up and watched the live stream. The edited film isn't just going to be the live stream. It's going to be the entire journey from Kenya, from Mexico, from the build-up, from all the training, all the different things that we did in order to make this thing happen. It's a massive journey, and all sorts of different things that you have no idea that happened. And once that film is out, then we can go and try and crush the internet. And then we have to make the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. But we do have a bunch of fun things lined up. So the content will be coming thick and fast. I just need to get into the edit and stop answering messages in Discord for a bit. But I love you guys, so I will continue to do that. All right, that's it for this little update. And from there, I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Later.
Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos. Bunnies up!